Katie for a wonderful solve and for showing us that amazing spreadsheet. Yes, the spreadsheet was awesome. Love seeing that and recording. And she did mention that we have had in the past a statistics page that has some box plots and medians. And I need to work on that a little more because I don't think it was giving the most accurate data. I went to it's automatically generated by our database program, and I needed to check in with David Park about that. That's why I haven't really shared that in the last season or two, because I'm not sure if it was drawing the right data. But anyway, but Katie's keeping her own statistics, and you can too, I guess, as well. And also going back to the opening of the show, thank you to Wonku for showing us sequences, and I'm going to play that with one of my classes for the rest of the year at the beginning, get just a feel of how hard it is every day, sometimes really hard, sometimes we have real problems with one of the words today. So I'll give scores up for Puzzle 5, maybe a little bit on the earlier side, 10:45 or so, because after ACPT weekend, I want to go to bed. If you just joined the league, I will get, between now and 10:45, going to be uploading past puzzles 1, 2, 3 scores to try to fill in some of those holes in the standings. So again, if you have any questions on standings or things, feel free to reach out. And we will be next week with another guest. I just want to confirm confirm that, but I think you'll enjoy next week's guest. And the week after that as well. Just got to confirm those, but it was fun at ACPT to hear what people are doing, hear what other projects are out there, and try to bring those to you. So thanks again for being with us. And final thing I'll say about ACPT, it always energizes me because Andrew and I do this, we're teaching, we kind of do this, we don't always have contact with solvers besides email. So to actually talk to many of you face-to-face, for you to say that you enjoy the broadcast or enjoy the puzzle, well, if you're watching this, you probably enjoy the broadcast. Really makes this fun for us. This is why we do it, is to be connected to everybody. We love all parts of it, but the part about seeing you, and I know that's, Andrew, why you missed not being there. You don't care about solving the puzzle necessarily. You do them, you participate, but it is about being connected to you. So thank you for being with us every week, or any of the weeks at all. I know as I've said in the past, I know the one person I can thank for being with us every week is my mom. So hi, Mom. My dad's usually asleep by now, but mom usually stays up. So anyway, enough rambling. Thank you. We'll see you next weekend or next Monday, and hope you have a good week. Till then, good night, everyone.
And with that, we go from 2 professional broadcasters to, sadly, me. Just make sure the audio is going. Yeah, I've had some super embarrassing Ben, you're muted stream moments lately, but not now. Hello, everybody. Wow, look at all these amazing people in the chat box. ACPT attendees and non-attendees alike. Boss words peeps, my people. Jamie Stearns, don't you worry. There will be no boss word spoilers tonight from me here, because I also have not done the puzzle. But yeah, please no boss word spoilers in the chat. I have not yet joined Bosswords this year. I'm either going to, I guess, join like super tardy during the semester and frantically do all the puzzles, or maybe just knock them out after the season. Between travel and work and a lot of this Twitch stuff lately, things have been getting busy. But let's focus on what's important. Did you go to ACPT? Did you play it online? Were you there? If you were there, did you say hi to me? Did you successfully avoid me? Or are you planning to buy the puzzles? Have you already bought them? You're going to play at home. There's so many ways to enjoy the ACPT. Yeah, John Lee was pretty adorable. And what a good guy. That guy just exudes niceness. But so does everybody at ACPT. Will, I have not yet attacked your puzzle. I actually, as I change clothes and transfer stuff, I went through the weekend, I kept some on me sentimentally. I went through the weekend, like folding up in thirds and sticking in my back pocket stuff in my backpack. I now have probably 2/3 of a ream of amazing puzzles. I may eventually do 3 or even 4 of them. So Will, of course, I know your stuff's awesome. I would love to check out your puzzle. I certainly have not done yours yet because you're in good company with everyone. I have not done anyone's yet. What I did do this weekend actually was two ACPT puzzles. Puzzle 5, as you may know, if you've seen me stream crosswords here, and you might infer from the fact that I'm a Bossword Stormy ride or die. I love a hard crossword. So what I did this year was I was an official at the tournament this year, primarily in the ballroom, both upstairs in the big room, the big leagues, if you will. But I was also down in the minors. I was in the pairs room. It was a little bananas before puzzle. There were so many people there this year. They expanded the pairs competition this year. What they were unable to expand was the square footage of the hotel. So, I mean, Brett, BEQ, Christian House, Narayan Venkata Subramanian, myself, can't even remember half the people who were down there, Kevin Christian, and hotel staffers. I mean, storerooms were being opened, tables were being toted, unfolded, chairs. It was bananas. We had like a Ellis Island refugee situation with like 30 or 40 pair solvers waiting for someone to sit. Eventually, we got them all situated. Pick your metaphor. It started to feel like a lifeboats and life preserver situation. Ultimately, everybody got going. Once puzzle 1 got going, it felt like we were like 88% done with what we needed to do because we like were able to get things going. Having said that, that was a minor blip. The tournament, I'm going off about miscellany. What I should be doing is keeping an eye on the chat, responding to you guys. So I'll circle back to exactly the things that you're saying. But it was amazing. This thing is turning into the Super Bowl. There is live video everywhere. There's a live check out John Leib's interviews, as I said a second ago on their Twitch. There is a live YouTube channel with like 2x2 like multi-camera screen. There are tripods on either side of that. As you may know if you've seen this, or check it out. You can still watch it. There are live tripods showing the room. There are, call it commercial break or halftime interviews. John Leib is interviewing miscellaneous people during the breaks between puzzles. Maybe not between puzzles 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. Those are short breaks. But during longer breaks, he had Robin Weintraub in there. He had Christina Iverson in there. They're talking shop. They're talking ACPT. In a sad display of poor judgment, he even had me on there at one point. We were talking NYT cryptograms. It was nuts. So circling back, what did I solve? I like a hard puzzle. So I solved puzzle 5, sitting against the wall, sitting with aforementioned Robin, leaning against the wall just because I want to do puzzle 5 before I get spoiled. And I respect the conventions of the tournament. I didn't try to get my hands on the copy of puzzle 5 early. I just waited for everyone to have it. And I have a big mouth. It was the best way to not accidentally spoil anyone by my not having seen it. So sure enough, I grabbed the puzzle. We hand out the puzzle. I keep a copy for myself, lean against the wall. I solve as fast as I can, not only because I want to solve as fast as I can and see how fast I can do it, but because I'm really not there to solve. I'm there as an official and I'm there to help. So I knocked that thing out as quickly as I could. I think it took me 18 minutes. Wasn't thrilled with that time, but wasn't unhappy. It was a lot better than doing half of it. But in any event, I knew that I could get away with that. This is the first year I've done it in the room. I knew I could get away with it because I knew it would be hard enough that I wasn't going to abrogate my duties as a tournament judge, because most people are solving that are going to have their hands full with that thing. And sure enough, when I finished, there were plenty of the ratio of my fellow officials prowling the aisles to those who were raising their hands was still pretty high. And indeed, as is the case every year, when puzzle 5 ended, I think maybe it was a 40-minute puzzle. That was the one, as is always the case, where we kind of scooped up the papers of a lot of people who weren't done yet. They still get points for how they did. They just don't get bonus points for the minutes. Excuse me, the minutes left on the clock. All right. Deep breath. Sorry for the monologue. Oh my God, we've already been going for 10 minutes. Wow. Not a crossword in sight. We're about to change that, but let me quickly take a look at the chat. What are y'all yakking about? Hello, Nora Sharp. Jamie Stearns, I think I responded to you. Jamie, great to see you in the crowd. I knew you were going to be there, but always good to see you. LeBron, as I said, I'll happily look forward to checking out your puzzle. LeBron, just one of many who it's the ACPT. I said it was like the Super Bowl, and it is in every way. It's a lot like what it really is. A lot like is a marathon if we're going to compare it to sporting events. Um, in many ways, starting with the fact that there's maybe only 8 or 10 or 12 people who realistically have any chance of winning, or maybe fewer at this point, for reasons that are obvious to anybody who paid attention yesterday. It's also like a marathon in that most of the people there are, oh, hey, Ben Zimmer, most of the people there are doing it for many different reasons that have nothing to do with winning. They might be going for a personal best. It might be a bucket list thing. They just want to check it out. They might be doing it with their dad or their sister. They might want to beat their friend Joe. They might want to finish in the top 200. They might want to do better than they've ever done before, et cetera, et cetera. There are people who even go there socially and don't even play the tournament. It's a good hang. So with that said, it's a lot of things to a lot of people. But one thing it also has in common with the Super Bowl and a marathon is that the sheer numbers of people and the sheer shortness of the time duration is staggering. There are 1,000 players there, give or take, plus officials, et cetera. I was there for under 48 hours. So given that we live in a physical world, there has to be a tournament. There's evening programming. There are meals. You can decide how much sleep you want, but good luck saying hi to, much less talking with a fraction of the people who are there. Will Eisenberg, I did not even see your face. I knew you were there. Nora Sharp, I wouldn't have seen you had we not walked by each other. The same is true with Katya, with Rick Quinones, Ricardo Puzzle, who we were just chatting with, and so many people. Now, I got that sweet Zimmer time because Ben and I are both officials. On the mezzanine floor, I got plenty of time with my fellow officials, which is one of the joys of volunteering there, but there are just so many people. 2 years ago, my first year as an official, I was in the scanning room, and that had me kind of locked to a computer all day. I saw Ross Trudeau crossword grid beer cans all over the lobby. He was giving away the crossword beer that he helped make, but did I ever see Ross? No. I saw his the snakeskin that he shed as he moved around. I knew he was there somewhere. You get it. Okay, take another quick look at what people are saying in the chat. Theoretically, I'm solving crosswords here, not just talking at/with you. I see Sid's name in here. Got a lot of Sid time. KJ2, you played online. I haven't really heard much about the playing online thing. I played online in 2021, the COVID year, and that was amazing. Everybody played online, or just about everybody. I guess it was possible to go to Stanford and wave hi to a similarly masked Will Shorts. But that year was great. But they had the whole social experience built onto the internet. That was like a one and done thing. Speaking of Ross and Parker, I sat at their table, virtual table that year. So while your puzzle 5 was faster than your puzzle 3, how on earth does that happen? Was puzzle 3 that hard? I haven't seen too many of the tournament puzzles. I knocked out most of Robin's while time allowed. It's as much a function of who you're talking with and what else you're doing as anything. One more thing about just solving puzzles in the room. As I say, you measure your progress maybe from one year to the next. I had a good ride on the final puzzle this year in the sense that, so puzzle 8. So Sunday morning at the tournament, as many people here know, but in case you don't, there are 3 puzzles in the morning on Saturday and 3 more in the afternoon. Those are puzzles 1 through 6. Sunday morning is a Sunday-sized grid. And so it's like a large Sunday morning puzzle. It's at 9 a.m. People are kind of sleeping it off or trying to wake up and grab a cup of coffee and try to bang out this Sunday. At that point, the competition ends for almost everybody. Let's say all but 9 people. And then the finals happen. During the C finals, which are first, just like passwords, there's like the C, B, and A clues, which I don't know how good the analog is. Let's call them the smooth, choppy, and stormy clues. During the C finals, at the big boards in the front of the big ballroom, they're playing that clue set. And there is no announcing yet. It's quiet in the room to giving people a chance to solve. And that's what I do. I put my head down and I take the A clues, my password stormy moment or my puzzle 5 moment. I just keep my head down. At one point I had to shush my friends to the right of me, a couple fellow judges. I was like, guys, don't say the answer. All right, no problem. And I knocked out the A clues and I finished, I think within a minute or so after the last C finalist finished. And I don't know who that was, and I don't know how long that took, but I remember a year or two ago, I was still like wrapping up the A clue solve when the announcers, the wonderful and so talented Greg Pliskett and Ophira Eisenberg, who were so funny and so prepared. And if the A and B finalists weren't so fast, we would have heard more of their great material. When they started going on the B finals, I was still trying to finish A. I'm like at the bottom of the grid, and I was like, "Don't talk about what I what I haven't solved yet." So anyway, the fact that I finished that much faster this year felt good. I don't know, maybe it hit me right. You know, the amazing chasm style grid by Ryan McCarty, mcgrids.blogspot.com. By the way, his stuff's amazing. I solve a lot of his stuff and I love his open middle puzzles. Maybe it's that I was used to those. All right, is everyone asleep yet? Is this monologue ending? The monologue's ending. The solving's about to start. To catch up one more time in the chat box. Yeah, I too am super tired. You know what? I ran home from work today and took a nap and came back here to the office because I wanted to be awake enough to stream a couple crosswords after crosswords without embarrassing myself more than I usually embarrass myself. I was like 90% asleep at work today, and I saw Jamie or Ben Zimmer was texting me sleep. Yeah, the sleep thing is, I mean, I couldn't not take the opportunities to do the social stuff that was happening late. I couldn't not do it. I mean, I'm never in the physical company of so many of these amazing people, including ones I only met this weekend. That I mean, there was no choice but to stay up, and I'm happy with that choice. But I was a wreck. I got an afternoon nap for an hour on both Friday and Saturday. And then I exploded it by staying up and making it even worse. And so like this, if I hadn't come home by like tomorrow or the next day, I probably would have died. But I'm back. My soul and my mind were totally still in Stanford, head spinning, so tired. It was so weird to be in my office. I couldn't focus on work. It just was like, whose job is this? But I got through the day. I'm back. I wanted to sleep on the plane, but no, I didn't. It was just, you know, crosswords. Okay, with that said, one last check of the chat box, then we actually will get going. You guys know me, you ladies know me. I can talk to paint off a wall, but I don't know if the puzzle is easy enough. I can do that while I solve. JMSR, hope to see you in Chicago. I believe I will. Just catch up. Will, ooh, puzzle link. I love that. I have a little bit of an itinerary / repertoire planned here. That doesn't mean that I can't do your puzzle, however. I'm going to start with one or two puzzles that I have sort of prepared for myself by my fellow tournament judges. But we'll see how far we get, how fast we go, whether I'm still awake. This might be my longest stream ever in the sense that if I fall asleep with the camera on, it could theoretically be like a 5.5 hour stream or something. We'll find out. Thank you, first time chatter, KJ2, first time chatter, Drinian. Yeah, daylight savings time was, I did stand up one year and that was a rough one. I was up late and it was daylight savings. We lost an hour and I had theoretically memorized my bits, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Nora Sharp, you know, I'll see you in October. Jamie Stearns, you were slow on puzzle 2. I don't remember which. I know I haven't taken a look yet at puzzle 7. I'll catch up on the. I don't, you know, as usual, I spent so much time saying in like long conversations with people in the ballroom that like by the time I grabbed my luggage, it was one of like 8 suitcases where there had been 200 of them. The lobby was virtually empty. Like I missed my chance to say goodbye to so many people. I also never grabbed a copy of all the puzzles, but so I don't even know if I have all of them. But one way or the other, I'll solve these things before long. And let's just gonna take one last look at the chat. Secret rivalry with me. It's funny. I don't know that I feel rivalry, but I always have a sense in Bosswords of like who tends to be in my neighborhood on the scoreboard. I guess we all have that sense if we're repeat customers. KJ2, ooh, I'm fascinated to hear that the online crew, Dave Sullivan, who also I think gets a lot of props for his work on the Crossword Fiend blog for years. That guy is incredible. I mean, I heard raves about the online stuff. At one point, I turned around and there was Dave on a laptop. I mean, I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing it right. I don't know how many people he had helping him. At the back center of the ballroom, it was like a rock concert. There's a gigantic like soundboard, tech people. When I was downstairs on Saturday morning, there were maybe 3 or 4 small rooms of parasolvers. I forget how many, and a large like auxiliary ballroom. I know Paolo sat in that thing last year. Every one of them had a big live video board, like professional sounding. And so like speakers, it was all huge clocks. They were mini versions of the ballroom. And sure enough, Will Short starts talking, and he could be seen and heard easily by everyone downstairs. It was really a very professional operation. The hotel did a great job in itself, but the crossword tournament staff, I was highly impressed. Okay, sorry if I haven't responded to your yaks in the chat, but I think I'm gonna bounce this thing over to a little bit of crossword solve. Let me explain what I had in mind to do. During the run up to the ACPT, we played our big Sid Shivakumar written crossword themed only connect game. Not last Thursday, but the week before the tournament, and that sort of got us rolling toward ACPT. I then streamed puzzles by all of this year's tournament constructors, with the exception of my fellow judge and a guy that, as always, I loved spending some time with this weekend, Mike Shank, Wall Street Journal crossword editor, Mike Shank. Mike has worked at the Journal forever, for so long, that when you go looking for his stuff at the New York Times, it is like pre-turn of the century, like back in the 90s. He did, however, write some, let me get it up on my screen. He did, however, write at like, I don't know, a half a dozen, give or take, New York Times crosswords. And I'm talking between the fact that it's a Mike Shank Saturday puzzle and the fact that it was in 1996. And is it just me, or like have the puzzles gotten less brutal? I mean, I'm not going to say that New York Times Friday or Saturday puzzles are easy by any stretch. They are not easy. They continue to be hard. However, when you look, I mean, and yes, we've all gotten better, let's say, those of us who were solving way long ago. But man, I look occasionally back at an old-ish New York Times Saturday, and I'm like, what? I mean, I haven't talked to any of the puzzle staff about this. I mean, is that a business decision? Do they want a bigger tent? Do they want people not to be as punched in the face by a Saturday as they were back when the NYT was like the only game in town and there was no, gigantic web of online puzzle options? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Well, this is an extremely small sample size, but let's share the screen. Let's see what the great Mike Shank has for us. I'm actually kind of curious to find out. Let's see, get the screen share going. It looks like it's on there. I've got the stream on my phone. Mike wrote we don't need my camera on. Mike wrote the Saturday, June 8th, 1996. What were we doing in June of 96? I'll tell you what I was doing. I was working at a law firm as a summer associate while being ignorant of the fact that the NPL convention was like a block from my apartment, the Allerton Hotel on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. It was overshadowed by the Democratic National Convention down the street at the United Center. Little did I know that like a much younger iteration of everybody I knew in the NPL, or many of those folks, were like a block from me. I wouldn't come to learn of the NPL's existence until 13 years later when I went to my first ACPT. Bananas. Yeah, exactly. I remember the Macarena was like a thing back then. I mean, we were gearing up for the Bull second three-peat. We were celebrating the fact that our country was not devolving into something horrendous. We were enjoying the Clinton years. I don't know if we were enjoying this puzzle. I mean, we were probably admiring its difficulty, but I mean, look what we got. The puzzle was by M. Shank. Did we even know his first name back then? I don't know. Turn off this light in my face. Camera's off. Jamie Stearns, you had just graduated from high school. You were on your way to a university that you and I both love so much. Des Moines Register. That's so funny. Yeah, I used to go to New York a lot in my like early post-law school years. And I always had that hard choice to make. Did I knock out the New York Times like on a Saturday, like in a Starbucks or whatever? Because it would ruin me for it in the like syndicated in the Chicago Sun-Times 5 weeks later. Um, Memories. We could go on and on. Wait, go on and on? Stop going on and on. That's my brand. No, it's solving o'clock. Let's do this. Let's do this puzzle. Yeah, Jamie, I know what you mean. I was just a young, I don't know, advanced beginner at that point. Well, maybe I still am that, but now I'm an advanced beginner with a Twitch stream. By the way, moments before the stream started, so I brushed my teeth to kind of refresh and try to wake myself up for the stream. Then I realized that I was falling asleep, and so I grabbed some kind of strawberry apricot Red Bull, which is already gross enough when you haven't just like brush your teeth. So I took that bullet for all of you. I hope you appreciate my commitment to you, because man, that was even grosser than usual. But theoretically, it's waking me up. So with that, let's see what Mike Shank has for us here. So this I'm gonna. Ooh, wow. Feel like maybe I should. So I'm gonna just I don't know that speed solving is gonna be a possibility here, but I'll let you chat amongst yourself in the chat box for a half a sec. Oh, it looks like sports car might be right. This I know. Speaking of Jamie Stearns, were you not just talking about Des Moines? All right, fine. This is Ames, Iowa. We don't know that. Is this Anastasia with a rebus? I tend to think. Would this be the parting of the sea? That was like history's most dramatic. This is Ernie Pyle is that guy. Right for like Stars and Stripes? I'm not sure. The doghouse. No answers in the chat, please. Carry chairs? Is that like Senate seats? I don't think so. What is this? Should know this. I want this to be a couple things that I can't think of any of them. Like a unit of time, stretch it. Everybody but me is seeing these answers. It's lame to complain about being tired, but I think everybody in the chat box. Ben Zimmer is not on this stream because he's tired. Ben, can I dox you on your life choices? See, milk toast. I don't know what it is though. It's not Millhouse either. All right, let's keep going. Could be that. Is this W? Feels like this. What's this? I'm just thinking of like his most famous quote, but I don't know like what word would be in impersonation. Are these Pequod people? Are they minor biblical? This to be cover art, but in 8 letters, it is not. It's not. The wrong word starts with A. All right. There's a decent chance that's right. I'm taking it out of there anyway. This could be often. If I knew a little more about Jimmy Cagney, I'd be having a little bit of an easier time here. Let's keep moving. Oh my God. Is this this? Is this this? I will say no more, but is this this? Could be. Let's find out again. Raptor. Man, I am like falling asleep. This is not a good test of how hard this puzzle is because I'm having trouble focusing on the clues. I said, Ben Zimmer, you wanna come on and stream with me? He's like, nah, I'm too tired. I'm like, well, so am I. So am I. But Oh, well, this will be an experiment, not so much in solving as in the limits of the human body. Relative to sleep loss. Is this verb? Looks like it's. Is this like that? Oh my God, more mid-90s. What on earth? I mean, I don't think they're going to be putting like the Oklahoma City bombing in the New York Times crossword, but what other mourners were there? It's like a sports thing. No idea what that is. Is that like the retirement of Michael Jordan? No, that was more like 93, 4. Oh, yeah. Is this Isaac Bashevis Singer? No. Well, I'm crushing this puzzle. I hope you guys are enjoying the display of just sheer skill. What? Well, if Winston or GTFO, y'all, I have no idea what he's talking about. Mike Shank, what a good guy. Ben Zimmer, are you still awake? I think SONE is what I'm trying to think of here. I might know. I would maybe, I think, know that if I saw it. Merrick. 8 letters. Maybe this. Jody Watley. Oh my God, they're playing the Gen X songs, literally and figuratively. What? I remember Jody Watley, and I think Jody Watley had like one big hit. I mean, there are so many one-hit wonders whose songs I could just spit right the hell out. But Jody Watley is not one of them. This has got to be this. Speaking of series starts, that horrendous episode 1 of Star Wars came out not long after this. Guess maybe more like a late 90s, I guess. What is this? It's either an element or a planet, and either way, something gas, I guess. This is, do I even need to say the anagram? Can we give it up for the great Eric Agard? Eric, I hope someday to meet you in person. What an amazing dude it is, Eric Agard, in so many ways, not the least of which is that typing it in the chat in case others aren't, or in case other people don't know it. By all means, JMSR, as long as you don't spoil the answer, bring it. I mean, anyway, so crazy. How the hell Eric Agard discovered this, I'll never know, but I'm just glad he did. I get such a kick out of that. Okay, what do we got? Hidden fingerprints, latency. Not so much. Oh man, I know that this is, I feel confident that's Dickens, but I certainly couldn't tell you who the hell character's name was. Yard border. Is this a yard of fabric? Is this, I mean, it just doesn't feel like a physical like fence. This has to be Ava Gardner, Privet Drive, Little Whinging, y'all. Nell Dell is carried chairs. Not sepals, SENAT in French. Well, this feels like it's an L. Is this latency? Like that? Is this OPEC? If I knew what a young oyster was called, that would help, but I don't, so it won't. Latence Wren's wing. This, because I want to say this is maybe that. We're talking like a Latin plural. Still want this to be OPEC, and it still isn't. Is this a rare gas? A New York Times cryptogram. I forget what the element was. Incredible piece of physical reality. Forget the do I bother interrupting the stream for this? Well, we've come this far yakking about it. Let's see. Wow, JMSR, a font of 80s pop music trids. All right, this won't take long. Okay, New York Times cryptogram, October 12th, 2023. I'll throw it in the chat. saying it out loud would waste valuable seconds. How's that for a piece of trivia? I think that's pretty amazing. I think it's because it's like always degrading and like becoming another element, half-life, blah, blah, blah. Is this relaxed? Don't do it if you want to get to it. Jody Watley. Man, I just cannot get my brain to move. I just feel like there's like sludge in my head. That's no excuse, but it is true. I'll take the hit for how badly I'm doing. But yeah, like this should be enough. This should be enough for me to have a decent shot at this answer. And I just can't think straight. School visitor, is that like a fishing thing? I strongly suspect. What's this? Gatherings. Clue. Deal. Doesn't have to be X. Wow, the net. It was so new-ish in 96. I'll tell you something that happened in 1996. The Onion went online. I spent a few minutes writing for the Onion between college and law school. And while my classmates were, using the law school library to, I don't know, do such things as their homework, I, while also doing my homework, was reading the Onion, which was brand new on the internet and which very few of us in my school even were aware of, because those who hadn't gone to college, oh, we just went past the 10-minute mark, in part because I won't shut up. Anyway, yeah. The Onion was distributed on a few college campuses at the time, and based in Madison, Wisconsin. They used to run up there for the odd writers meeting. But yeah, so like people who had gone to college in like Milwaukee or Champaign, or I think Boulder, weirdly, knew the Onion, and many others did not. Is this, wow, I feel like these letters are decent, but I still have no clue. School visitor. If it's not a school of fish, then what is it? And what is this? Is this an eider? As in like a goose that eats fish from the surface? I tend to think not. Yeah. I hate to ask the chat for help, but it's maybe going to come to that. We'll see. Maybe I gradually wake up while we go. I don't know anything about the Churchills. That is not good for me. Judge's successor. Speaking of the Bible, isn't that a biblical book? What would come next? 4 letters starting with R. Wow. I mean, I don't know much about the Old Testament, much less that newfangled one they came up with. This was maybe a mistake to start with this thing. I mean, that's, yeah, I don't know. Someday when I'm better rested, I'll go back and try to knock out some Saturdays. Yeah, this is I feel that I rarely look at like real old New York Times weekend stuff, but I feel confident that it's harder than today's 80s musical. What is this? Is this the one with, oh no, this is oh, I was thinking of this one, like with African music, but I'm remembering even that right, that this is 80s musical. Wow. I am fascinated by this because it's not a song. It sounds like a show. And what show is that? I just don't know. Is this Sybil? Was there a Sybil Churchill? Don't know. Unhurried. Taking all day like I am with this puzzle? Don't know. Okay, who was in Sweeney Todd? Was that Len Cariou? Oh, Angela Lansbury was in Sweeney Todd on Broadway. Was that the original cast? If it was, I think we're talking about the play, not the movie. If it was Angela Lansbury, it certainly was, I assume. Rocked. Critics. Don't know. Well, in 3 letters, I'm thinking it's that. What is this? Something Tyler? It ain't Liv Tyler. How about her? How about her if you spell it right? This is just acts. Is this actually a bird? Speaking of a wren not being a bird, if this is X, this is an S. I don't love that. Oh, is this Deadheads at the death of Jerry Garcia? Probably. Judge's successor, and I don't even see an abbreviation. What is this? I mean, an oath? Does that even make sense? If there's some New Testament book ending in TH that I can't think of, that's kind of embarrassing. No clue what this is. No clue. Thank you, by the way, to those who are here as I babble incessantly. I'm just so sad to think about the premise that there are some Bosswords people who have no idea who the hell I am. I haven't been there this season. I haven't done any Bosswords after shows this season. And look at the version of me they're getting. I mean, not shutting up is kind of my brand, but oh my God, I cannot solve worth a damn tonight. I'm sorry you're seeing me just slog sleepily through this puzzle, but that's about all I got in me at the moment. What am I missing in the chat? Catherine Sherwood. JMSR, yes, JMSR, one of the great cryptic crossword writers of the nation, based up in Madison. 54 down, says Ben Zimmer, because I love it album. Interesting. Is it a love song to Julia Roberts? I don't know. Chris Aldrich, New Mexico. I'm fascinated. Jamie, I'm sure I told you at the time that because of, we had a cryptogram, it was like, because of government or because of federal government, like science jobs, New Mexico has more doctorates per capita than any other state, which is pretty sweet. Oh, got it. Okay, the chat is like answering Jamie's questions before I even read them. That is as it should be. That's what I wanted. I mean, Bosswords is not about ACPT chat, and this stream doesn't need to be about everything. So I thought, like, as a public service / pure indulgence, I would throw a stream onto Twitch so that we could all hang for a second. And indeed, we're doing that. I'm glad the chat is enjoying each other, because they can't be enjoying this disgrace very much. Wow. In self-flagellating, I stumbled upon an answer. Is this Alexei? Is it spelled like this? Because I want this to be like milk toast. Milk, this is milk something. Okay, this is a Red Sea. Oh, this was the parting of the Red Sea. Love it. All right, so this, counting noses, an osprey would be a bird that, much like a goose, would swoop down and eat a fish. Sport is not, might be a verb. It's not to wear something. I really feel like this is a verb. I don't know if milksop is right. Milksow. It's not an R. We can all agree on that. Is this like when you like stick like a lance or a sharp stick through something? Or is stick a noun? He asked rhetorically. Yeah, it's, man, ACPT, y'all. What can you say? It is so overwhelming, like in so many ways. It's just so hard to like even just check in with so many people, and yet it's just great. I mean, there's so many great people. There's always new faces. There's always the chance to like see some constructor whose work you love and have a chance to express your appreciation for them in person. I mean, with one glaring exception, I'm not going to lower myself by even saying the name of this person, with one glaring exception of just one horrible, snarky, widely loathed person. I'll let the chat guess who that may be, either in the chat or in their minds. I was thrilled to see everybody. 0.9999 out of 1 of everybody. What is this? Real love? Wasn't that a song? Jody Watley. School visitor. What? I mean, hiver with an H is winter in French. Is it a giver, a fiver? No, it's a diver. It's like a scuba diver. Beautiful. Beautiful. Ah, gather ye rosebuds while ye may, y'all. Doesn't that feel, oh, Bell, that It's plausible. No, L's. Layton's SPAC was not going to be right. Jamie Stearns, we weren't talking about the Sports and Aquatic Center, the Evanston campus in Northwestern. Clearly, this is the first thing I said. Give me partial credit. So SPAT, I did not know this. Does it look plausible? It certainly does. Have I ever heard it? Maybe vaguely at best familiar. L's, okay. So Ren is the architect. Got it. We're talking proper now. Somebody tried to tip me to that, but no, I was too sleepy, stubborn, and or stupid to take the bait. But got it. Okay, so this sounds right. This vaguely rings a bell. Real Love. I remember that there was a song called Real Love by a female singer. So Jody Watley, sure. One thing, I'll tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't Tony Unbreak My Heart Braxton. Was that in the 90s? Ben Zimmer is clearly already typing the answer to that question. And wait, who else? We got some pop music expertise here. JMSR saying pop music of all stripes, but 80s is your forte. Ben Zimmer, I mean, don't blush, Ben, while you're not on camera tonight. Ben Zimmer, a true student of and expert in pop music through the decades. But what is it? Oh, this is Darlene Love. Now, I know this. Give me a little credit. I know of the great Darlene Love, not to be confused with the band Love, led by Ben. Do you know? I know that you know it's Arthur Lee. Is this Sarah? Watered down. Man, oh man, how long have we been streaming? 40. 40. How could this be 49 minutes? This is, well, okay, carried chairs. Sedans, what does that even mean? I mean, Nell is plausible. Nell, well, yeah, Nell from the old Curiosity Shop. That, I mean, I know that Nell is a heroine in Dickens, but I'm confusing it with that like Jodie Foster movie. All right, A Day in the Life, 40 o'clock. Yeah, that is the ultimate gimme, the gimme of all gimmies. I mean, they did not need the parenthetical there. Come on, let's face it. JMSR, Ben Zimmer, I think you need to cover the Chicago crossword tournament. I mean, I think that generally, but we need to have like a pop music summit. And JMSR, are you like some sort of like, do you have like a, not to say that you were in any other way similar to like Dustin Hoffman's Rain Man character, but do you have, or like a do you, or like a photographic memory? Do you have that Mary Lou Henner skill for like total recall, not of the days of your life, but like, can you sit down and memorize 2,000 items and you've got them forever? Because it kind of sounds like that's what you're saying. That is incredible. Can you say what was on the New Yorker cover for every week of the last century? I stopped by the New York Public Library on Thursday to check out the Century of the New Yorker exhibit, February of 1925 being when it was founded. So right now they're celebrating their century mark. Amazing exhibit. If you're in New York, check it out. Third floor of the New York Public Library. Really was excellent, absolutely great. The NYPL has like an incredible New Yorker archive, and along with a lot of New Yorker staffers, they put together one hell of an exhibit. Is this draw on something too? I don't feel like it's TO, but what is, oh, it is a T because this is this. This is this, this is this. Unhurried, this, and this is this, and this is, what is this? Oh, Ruth, good grief. That's one of the few, oh, Judges, I guess, is Old Testament. That's one of the few Bible books I actually know the story of, but was I thinking of it? No. All right, well, we were on the right track here. That's, answer was watered down is literal water. Got it. This is this, I believe this is that. This is stick through the middle. I want this to be an axle, an axis of a sphere, sure. Some pigs are these. Album item is, oh, maybe this is this. Why did I think this was an S? Because I'm dumb. Wait, what is this pen name? This is probably Robert Penn Warren, to cite a correct trivia answer that Ben threw out. Oh, wait, Robert Penn Warren has two N's in pen. I can't spell. Is this like a Bic or some competing brand? It could be. Look at these, all these great clues, by the way, by the great, oh my God, Joshua Judges Ruth. What a great What a great album title, man, I love that. Ah, it's almost a 15. Frequent, I mean, I think that is probably a verb, because this is, I mean, look, when we started this, it looked like I wasn't even gonna finish half of this puzzle, so at least, well, it's a little early to start celebrating, but at least we're making a bit of a dent, because there's a couple other crosswords I want to get to tonight. And I mean, we're 53 minutes in, and good grief, I'm not even done with one puzzle. But I'll tell you what I have done. I've gathered some of the greats of the crossword world and allowed them to have a leisurely chat about the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament, for which we all feel real love, y'all. All right, is this, hmm. Is this tap into America? Ishmael. Couldn't think of the phrase minor prophets is what I was trying to think of. I mean, was he the sole survivor of the Pequod? Ooh, sorry, spoiler alert. Album item. Something spot? Something shot? Oh, like a photo album. Okay, fair enough. This guy, I just don't know. I don't see what letter looks good here either. That's not good. This looks like an E. Batters with controlled swings. What on earth is this? I mean, bunters? I don't see what it's going to be other than baseball. I guess it could be something else. And ensigns, I mean, a corporal would boss around an ensign, wouldn't he or she? 13. Thank you. Yes, all. Oh, thanks a lot. That helps a lot. Yeah, as a gigantic caveat to my request not to give answers in the chat, please tell me about my own typos. Anytime I have a typo here and don't notice it, it really screws up the solve. I don't mind it, I guess, generally, when I can just kind of keep moving quickly and fix it fairly quickly. But tonight, like, if there were 3 or more typos at once, I would probably just like have a stroke or something. So thank you for that help. Frequent or frequent. To like attend, like it's a verb. Should be able to think of that. Thinking it, of course, but I should be able to. Is this milksop sport? Oh yeah. The problem here is that there aren't that many clues and answers left. Ishmael, is this? I want this to be gymnasts. Is this corporal? If it's so, then what on earth is this? Isn't an ensign like lower down than a corporal? I mean, it's not going to be podcasts if this puzzle is from the year 2000. Excuse me, 1996, prehistoric. Y'all, this puzzle was from another century. I mean, this is like before the car was invented. This is like a buggy whip situation. Frequent on end, could that be? I don't think so. That quite works either. Oh, it's so sad if I don't finish this thing. I mean, this is like an old timey word that at least I'm not familiar with. Apana. Have I seen Apana? Oh yeah, Apana. Well, there's Dayan, there's another one. What's wrong with this, Ben? Is this too awkward? What's the difference between this partial and this partial? I don't know. Ben Zimmer has published crosswords in, well, everywhere, but starting with the New York Times, Wall Street Journal. All right, pen name. I think this is going to be snapshot as opposed to anything else. So therefore, pen name. I mean, if it's not Bic, it's, what other kinds of pen are there? I want it to be like Casio, and for any number of reasons, it isn't that. Is it, oh, is it like bossy, like a cow? Or like the name of like a pig? I don't even remember it. if a bossy is, I don't even know what kind of animal that is. I think it's a cow. Yeah, I mean, Mike Shank, what can you say? That guy's, there's no such thing as a bad Mike Shank grid. Mike Shank, as the legend goes, walked into the school newspaper when he was a freshman at Penn State and said to them, I'd like to write a crossword for you. And they said something like, oh, great. He was a first year student, fresh off of, you know, high school graduation. And they were like, great. What day do you want to publish it? And he's like, no, every day. They're like, what? Excuse me? He's like, yeah, every day. And darned if Mike Shank didn't write a new crossword puzzle every day of his college career for the Daily Collegian in State College, Pennsylvania. I mean, you want to talk about a god, just an absolute, I mean, what can you say? An absolute genius? That's Mike. And the nicest, just sweetest guy in the world. Just so lovely, man. Lovely guy. What? All right. It's getting late. We're closing in on 1 hour. We're scarily close to 1 hour. I haven't even finished one puzzle. I knew this was going to be, quote, the hard one tonight. Although I do have my eye on a Byron Walden Saturday, and given my current physical state, that's going to be tricky too. But oh, outcasts, like biblically, got it. Okay, I could not get off of the idea of like call me Ishmael, the Ahab, the whale, pen name. This is supposed to get easier when I put more letters in. Frequent or free. I guess it's frequent. Frequent. What is happening here? This C looks right. Oh, CPO, like CPO Sharky or whatever. Starkey, who can remember? I can't. I could remember it if I were awake. So what is going on here? Essence of something is this? Cross pen, oops. Strokers. Like if you stroke a single, I guess that's what that is. If it's not, go ahead and tell me because that's clearly the right answer. That the essence, is this the attar? Is that what that means? Hello, sport. Hello, chap. Haunt, rat, and in a mere 3131, what? Good night. Chief Petty Officer. Wow. I never, or no, did I ever know what that stood for? I don't feel like I did. 31. Can we agree that 31 was Dave Winfield's number? I think we can. You are all so generous to say GG. It really felt like a DNF or something like it. But thank you. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you, Crossword Gods, for sparing me the embarrassment of having to ask for people to help me finish. All right, I'm crossing this off the list here. Mike Shank. Now is when I love Will Eisenberg and I love the idea of doing his puzzle, but I'm going to, at least for the moment, stick with my itinerary. I had 3 or 4 puzzles tonight teed up because I want to give it up to my my fellow judges at the ACPT. Starting with Byron Walden. I have not streamed Byron stuff in forever. His more recent stuff was like, there was some COVID era stuff that I saw, like there was 1 month that he had a Saturday in like 2021 and I did every puzzle on the day. I mean, I have a lot of like blue stars and never dids on these monthly like archive pages on the New York Times website. Those were all gold or yellow because I was just doing a lot of puzzles and during the pandemic shutdown, as were we all, I'm sure. So I went back to prior to the pandemic, specifically, it's like around 2017, bringing it back 20 years later. We're doing the old, well, I prefer not to think of who was president in October of 17, but one thing I know that wasn't happening much was me doing a lot of NYTs. This was during my, are we on an Eras tour of the New York Times website? I think it is. Is this an episode of I Love Films? I think it is. Look what was happening for me in 2017. Sometime after that, I decided to try to become like a speed solver, or at least to try to improve my speed solving skills slash times. And I did become the slow speed solver that I am now. So once I had done all the Mondays around the time I was doing this, I started going back in time. And I think, I don't know, 2019, 18, 17, like I think I did a lot of Mondays in there just because I was just trying, like I was like in a flat out foot race, try to go faster than whatever it was, 3.5 minutes, 3:15, 3 minutes, 2:45. Eventually got under 2.5 minutes. Got my lifetime best at 2:12, and that I feel quite confident in saying will be the best I ever do. Not in the 2 minute club, but got faster than I ever thought I could get, and I'm happy there. Wait, why are we babbling about my boring personal history with speed solving? When there's work to do, there's a Byron Walden to solve. Byron Walden, along with Ben Zimmer, one of my fellow judges of the tournament this year, and Byron's son, Harrison. Oh man, look at this grid. I love that. Look how open this thing is. I love that. Ben's, Chris Aldrich, sorry you didn't see more than one. It's especially sad if you're leaving, if you're in like the New Mexico time zone, which is even earlier than it is here. Wow, it's already 10 o'clock here. I got to step up the pace a little bit. Got to actually work tomorrow. But yeah, Byron's son, Harrison Walden, broke the record, I think, for youngest New York Times constructor. So well done, Harrison. I think there may have been a Byron Harrison co-construction. I think Harrison Walden has like at least one solo. I guess he must have broken the record solo. In any event, I had breakfast in the judges' breakfast on Sunday morning at the ACPT, chatted for a minute with Byron and Harrison. Byron, a math professor at the University of Santa Clara, a brilliant guy, quiet, classy guy, like him a lot, and I love his work. Byron is one of the dependably, I mean, I think of him, well, like say Cameron Austin Collins, put him in this group, but he appears so infrequently. Byron is like, along with, the late Bob Klon, who used to be in this mode, I think. Byron writes a lot of New York Times Saturdays, and they're dependably tough. Sometimes I used to find them like really, really hard before I sort of improved generally as a solver. And I still find them to be hard. And sometimes like he really comes up with like a super toughie. With that said, I'm tired. This puzzle is from 2017. Maybe they hadn't quite taken the edge off of the Saturdays as much as they have more recently. Oh my God. Could this be the hellscape that we're living in now? Could be. It's 9 letters. I don't know. Let's find out. Should we do acrosses only? No, we shouldn't. I barely solved that, Mike Shank. Is this? No. First, let's see if one across is right. Thank you for hanging with me, everybody. Sorry, sorry for all the babble. Sorry for all the slow slash inept solving you've seen tonight. Is this? Wow. Reagan. That narrows it right on down. It's not James Watt. I don't even know if that dude was able to read or write. He was just a complete nut job. Not to say that illiteracy equates to that, but I don't think anyone's reading that guy's memoir. This is probably Alexander Haig. This is X. Well, they were X respected. Don't know. Let's try that. Let's try, writer slash director. I want this to be Elia Kazan. For somebody who both directed and acted mid-century. However, this almost has to be, I mean, this is not H-A-E anything. Oh, this is clearly this. Exactly. XDA, fair enough. All right, well, these are going to be obvious enough. So this is a Ida Lupino, probably. Give it up for Ida Lupino. Doing the acting, directing thing before it was cool. All right, what else? Oh, it tabbed away because these words are filled in. These are clearly right. Okay. L-O-L-A Lola. Oh, I just got a copyright strike. Smug. I wouldn't know anything about that. This is this. Makes sense. Sure. This, sure. This, sure. This is this. Wow, we might solve this thing in under an hour, unlike the Mike Shank puzzle. About this. Don't know if it's right. This is Kennedy era. 10 letters. So this, if that's right, then this is, I really want this to be right. I think that it is right. And yet, this feels to me like a jug, or not a jug band. It was going so well for like 6 seconds. Let's keep going. This is this. What is, can't even think of the name or the, is this Epictetus is what I was thinking of in the Stoics. Is this? No. Ecology, is that the right ending? This looks like something language. Oh, this is that. Got it. Okay, so this is, where's Ben Zimmer? If we're talking about language, I feel like, what is in 2 letters? What would that be? It's interesting. Ben, are you still awake? It's East Coast time. It's past 11. I don't blame anybody for, I mean, I don't blame anybody for leaving any of my streams for so many reasons, but let's include the fact that it's getting late on the East Coast and I'm doing a, let's face it, lousy job of solving these puzzles. This is Nate the Great. Nate the Great, Nate Carden in the house. Be masked in the last row. One of the great things about being a judge, let's bring it all back to the ACPT. I know I've been yammering about everything and everything, but it's ACPT night. It's the hangover night. It's the hair of the dog night. Nate Carden in 3 living dimensions. I don't think I'd ever met Nate in person before. What a great guy online. Love his style, love his crosswords, and proud donor to the cause. Nate horrifically went through the trauma of losing his home and virtually everything he owns in the Altadena fire. They are getting their lives back together, Nate and his partner. Dish transmitters. What? This, if I could type, if I were more awake, I could type. There's a problem here though. What is this? Oh, this is like aloha away. Away, away. Da, 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 da. No, that's Moana. I'm talking about probably that PC language. No slurs. Got it. Very good. They go to all the best spots. Want to be able to solve this. Are spots acne? Is the answer Clinique products? Clip something. What does spots mean? Clio awards go to all the best commercials, which are spots. Long-winded, I would not know anything about that. Don't say otherwise. We all agree. I don't know anything about it. This is Corvine would be like a raven, for example. These are cause. A horse. Oh my God. That is such an amazing adjective. Or perhaps adverb? Why not? Okay, is this an owie? It is. This Corvine, like a raven, what other bird am I failing to think of? I don't know. Blackbird, maybe. Let's see. This is Nan Britton. You had me at blank, comma, Britain mistress. Warren G. Harding, Teapot Dome scandal. Newspaper owner, Ohioan, and until recently, a president whose scandalous behavior could be thought of as something more offensive than simply adorable. This would be this. This is clearly MS-DOS. I'm not even looking at the clue. We'll check it later if I'm wrong. Singing place, Odium, Odion. I like an O there. Dr. Dre. I'm not looking at any of these clues. We'll find out later if I'm right. Form of blah, 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 blah. What's this? This. Psychic, psycho, don't know. Richard Gere, Dr. T and the Women? No, that was like 2000-ish. Was Robert Altman and at the opening night of the Chicago Film Festival? At the Chicago Cultural Center with Richard Gere? Was I there? Nobody knows. Answer for yourself. But that was not the answer. Chocolat, also not the answer. She may have been in that, but he wasn't. So what? I just don't know. Is this a golden calf? Not in 9 letters. Burnt. I'm not going to try to crosses only. It's too late. I'm too tired. I'm going too slowly, and there's too much more material I want to get to. Has the chat ground to a halt in my babble? I want to stoke this fire. I want to blow on these coals. I want to talk about ACPT. We don't want to spoil the puzzles. Not everyone has solved them. I'll throw out a few questions I want to hear people's answers to. If anyone here is still awake who was at the ACPT, who did you meet for the first time that you've never met, that you would have been looking forward to meeting or wanted to? Could be a face in the crowd. It could be somebody whose work you liked. Is there something that happened that surprised you? Is there anything that you would have liked to see the tournament do differently? Is there anything the tournament did that you were like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this, but they did? Was anybody at the other hotel? Did anybody have any wacky misadventures with any puzzles? Did anybody get stuck on a train? Was anybody on a train during an earthquake? That happened to me last year. Okay, that ought to get you started. Please answer in chat. Well, sure. I mean, meeting Will Shorts. That's on, I mean, that's on the bucket list of any CrossFit fan for sure. If we get some of these, we'll get the long ones. This is Oslo, about the Oslo Accords. This is Dear, maybe psychodrama. Is this right? I don't have any confidence that it is. Common Rose, what? Good for you. That is a good feeling when you get your first clean puzzle 5. Yeah, congratulations straight up. That is a feat to be proud of. I only went 4 times as a solver to ACPT. The first time I was so crushed by puzzle 5 that I think I had like a 3x6 area at the upper left where I had letters filled in. The rest of it was blank when time ran out. That was a rude awakening and a clarion call that like, I may have been okay at easy puzzles, but I was not yet in the conversation on the harder stuff. And then it got better gradually. Maybe I don't remember exactly the arc. Maybe I got like a third or a half of it filled in the next year. I remember clearly that I got like all but maybe 10, 12, 15 squares. That must have been my 3rd year because my 4th year was the massive breakthrough year. Mike Shank wrote a puzzle 5. You know what? I'll stop the share for a half a second. Stop the share before she croons again. Turn on the light. No spoilers. Mike Shank wrote a puzzle 5 that involved, not unlike what we were talking about a minute ago with Jody Watley, the titles of hit songs through the decades. And the titles of the songs were running across the grid. Like 2 per line on each of, I want to say 4 lines. Maybe it was, actually, if I do the math in my head, it was definitely, yeah, it was bigger than a 15X. It was a larger grid. Maybe it was 7. I'm not going to bother with the numbers, but 17 or 19. So a large-ish grid. The point being, though, that like I knew enough of the titles of these songs that helped me like fill in literally 4 entire rows of the puzzle. And when you were looking at puzzle 5 and you know what the gimmick is, or you've cracked the code, I mean, I knew enough about these song titles to see what he was doing. And I was able to just plonk these things. And from there, yes, the puzzle was hard, but I had been getting better as a solver of hard puzzles. I began to know that, ignore the surface read, try to see what other meaning there could be to this clue. The point is, as like a downs only lover, that's what I had. I had a big fat, call it a crosses only, but I had some letters in virtually every, or maybe even every down, because I just had these like spines to like hang the bones and muscles on. And so I crushed that puzzle 5. I don't know how many minutes it was. Maybe I didn't crush it in 5 or 10 minutes, but it didn't take super long, but mostly it just was an amazing feeling that like I had letters for every word. I mean, it just was, anyway, that was my Puzzle 5 moment. And then this year, I'm friends with Sid Shivakumar. I may have had a little sense of who had written Puzzle 5. But I mean, I just solved it. I didn't exactly crush it speed-wise. I was slower than I typically am on boss words, for example, but I wasn't worried that I would solve it in 40 minutes, let's say. All right, ow, I just hurt my arm patting myself on the back. That is not a good look. Let's, talk is cheap. Let's go back to me proving that I don't know what I'm doing by staggering our way through the rest of this beast, this Byron Walden Saturday keyboard instrument, a Moog synthesizer, perhaps. I want to say this is and because I want this to be ends. Is this this? Is this coverage? That is definitely an O. Is this a front page of a newspaper? This is rat. Oh, this is reportage. Only you can decide. On the up, maybe. We don't have to guess because that looks like preseason. This looks like adulation. This looks like exceed. This looks, oh no, not either. What? Oh, B season. I thought this was going to be preseason. Never saw that movie, never read that book. This is something bar. What? A stay bar, I guess, maybe. A sway bar looks super plausible. I want candy. No, that was bow, wow, wow. I want it all, y'all. I don't want much, just it all. This has got to be that. Pace is country, like you're homesick for your country, I assume is what we're going for there. This is Osteria via Stato, for example, the State Street Osteria. So this was Kennedy era. So what letter? I mean, what? What's with the letter Y? Not seeing that yet. This line of clothes would be this. This would be, I mean, this. Either an S or an X works there. The jug set something. Is this Kennedy? These letters don't look. Nope, that's right. All right. Barry Goldwater era? I don't think so. Oh, Yearns. Okay, well, it's still not the Kennedy era. Everybody but me, I am quite confident in seeing this answer. I want to see what the chat had to say. Clinique COQL. That's funny, Rose. I'm not remembering which question you mean. If you're in the unlikely event that you're still awake, please remind me. Yeah, meeting Will Shortz, of course. That's the gold standard. Will Shortz is at least one of the African big five, if not all five, in terms of like, I want to meet somebody at ACPT, let's face it. May I recommend going to a National Puzzlers League? Will Eisenberg, if you yourself are still awake, I mean, how could you not go to the NPL convention in Minneapolis this July? It's a lot less intense. It's a lot more laid back. You're looking at 200 faces in 3, 4, 5 days. Yeah, you've got it. I mean, you'd be insane not to go. You would have so much fun. You're going to have so many friends there. It's a different experience in so many ways, and yet there's overlap. There's actually surprisingly few like ACPT faces, excuse me, NPL faces in the crowd at ACPT. I definitely had my usual handful, but including 2 of my buddies that sit in the front row. But yeah, well, anyway, but among other things, it's a lot more laid back. And Will Shortz, I mean, as I said in my dumb stand-up act in the 2014 ACPT, I mean, Will Shortz founded the ACPT in 1978. It's his pride and joy. It's his crowning achievement. I think it's also his bar mitzvah. So, I mean, he is, and plus, with his current health issues, he's gracious as hell. He will answer every question. He will take every photo. He is just such a patient, sweet man. However, he is the nucleus of that tournament, and he's the MC, he's like in charge, and the time is so compressed with all the rounds of the puzzles and the evening program. He was on stage Saturday night, the well-deserved Merle Memorial Career Achievement Award for Stan Newman. With that said, the NPL is just so much more laid back. So if you want to have a nice chat with Will Shortz, it's a lot easier to do in July. Okay, sorry, monologue over. Org concern with this is EPA during these waning moments where there is one. Icy is gelid in full sale. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try. Oh, wow. Early 1860s. Very good. You completely got me, Byron. Ally as a verb. This is, I saw combo and I just got convinced that it was like some sort of a jug man. This is a bar set, of course, a jigger and a strainer you would use to make mixed drinks. This is a bolo, and this is what? Bola. Oh, not a bolo tie, but like a bola is a weapon. Got it. And this is defray. Now is when we find out if I was right on the lower left. I guess I was, even though I didn't see those clues. 16 minutes, nothing to write home about. But I mean, when you stop the puzzle and turn on the camera and start talking to the chat, you ain't going to break no speed records. But okay, I'm reasonably content with that. Nice puzzle, Byron. I mean, if it's a Byron puzzle, it's redundant to call it nice. I mean, he's so good. So good. Just like Mike Shanks. Grids are immaculate. Look at these quadruple stacks. 3 9s and a 10. I mean, it's like a regular Olympic gymnastics meet in here. All these 9s and 10s, double stacks, 10s going up and down. Byron Walden is the best in the biz. Love his stuff. I always have. I remember when I couldn't finish half of a Byron Walden Saturday before I was all growed up. That's how you learn. Swing 2 bats. Love it. Byron, really good. Okay, well, Will Eisenberg here. How long have we been streaming for? I'm afraid it's going to be, yeah, wow, closing in at an hour and a half. And it's 10:26 here. Let's land this plane with one more puzzle. I wanted to do Brendan Quigley's new one because he was my fellow judge. I wanted to do Rafa Musa's Saturday because he was, I think, at the ACPT. And, well, did I see him? No, of course not. You can't even physically look at half the people. There's too many faces. There's too little time. There's too much square footage. So if you're still awake and if you're still here, LeBron Swanson, tell me how difficult your puzzle is. Let's see, half-baked puzzles. You can call me with Rich. What does that even mean? You can call me, oh, well, you can call me ... with Rich. Okay, got it. Let's take a look at this. Ron, it will be very easy for me. All right, fair enough. Very easy for me on a day when I'm wide awake. I'm almost afraid to. I mean, you're very generous to say that, so thank you. But let's see. All right, I got BEQ ready to go. I got Rafa Musa's Saturday during the ACPT. You want to talk about an ACPT crossword? This guy wrote the Saturday during the tournament, but I'll have to do it another night. I'm going to end with Will's puzzle. I'm super tired. It's 10:28 here. Oh, wow, terrific. I didn't even think about it until now. I have to be at the office early tomorrow. I knock out a couple things early in the day. I have 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Zooms I have to be on. Sorry about that. Just had to take a drink. All right, this is what we call the rounding third moment. And here we are in half-baked puzzles. All right, we're turning all the cards over. LeBron Swanson is Will Eisenberg. Batman was he Clark Kent? I can't remember. I'm too tired. All right, trivia. Batman's mother and Superman's Earth mother, both named Martha. Was that a cryptogram in the newspaper? I honestly am too tired to remember. Either it already has been, or I've already submitted it and it hasn't appeared yet, or I haven't submitted it yet. In any event, that thing will eventually be a New York Times cryptogram. I will say 100%. Great trivia. Why are you talking about Batman, LeBron Swanson? We're trying to solve your puzzle. Quit talking about Batman. All right, Will Shortz on his blog writes, "Hi friends, I'm back home from ACPT and what a weekend." I'll enlarge. I'm not going to read this to everybody, but okay, let's see. Well, I'll hit the bullet points here. Finished 43rd. Good for you. I literally have not looked at the scoreboard. It's just been a big blur. But 43rd is extremely impressive in today's world. That puts you way, way up in the elite zone. There's so many people solving now. 20th in B. That's really good. 3rd in Midwest. That is really good. Really good. Yeah, well done. You should be very proud. This is made for the lobby. Okay, yeah, 300 copies. Got it, of course. Nice feedback. I'm sure. Rich, you really? I'm sure he's really good, but I've never even heard of him. I will happily check out his other stuff. Shannon. Rap. Matthew Gritzmacher said a quick hello to Matthew. In from Hawaii for the ACPT. Wearing what I believe Hawaiians prefer be called an aloha shirt, not a Hawaiian shirt. What a good guy, Matt Gritzmacher. And of course, we love Shannon. Daily crossword links. Absolutely worth a look for those of you looking for a great grid or two. Link in chat. Okay, thanks to the person who inspired this puzzle. Wow, I wonder who that's going to be. We'll find out. .puzz. Let me, well, I could solve it on, I could solve it right here. Okay. Oh my God, we're 3 minutes in. Am I being penalized for yakking too much? And why is the clock stopped? Confused on so many levels. All right, I'm not going to look at any comments because I'm just going to solve this beast. Will, anything I should know before we get going? Bigger? You can call me Al. You can call me. All right, here we go. Why is it 3:07? I'm baffled by that. All right, doesn't matter. Too blue to view. Okay, this is, I'm starting to think this is going to be the perfect difficulty level to sort of ease out of our solve here. All right, before I really start knocking this thing out, look, we've got all these little 2-letter, call them bigrams. Oh, it's about, you can call me, well, if you can call me Al, are these like ALs? Is this like talk later? Like that? ALer? Who's an ALer? Mike Trout? Don't know what that is. Just taking a quick look at the themers. I have no idea. Cotton candy? Are we talking about like the boardwalk of AC as opposed to that? Insert adjective here, TV show. Okay, is this Will Nedeker? No, wait, he's barely been to these. Speed solver with 8. Interesting. Are we talking about? Well, I mean, there's so many people it could be. Tyler. Talk later easily could be wrong, so I shouldn't count on this as anything. Could be Tyler Hinman. 8. No, Tyler's been more times 8 in the finals. He's won it. Tyler's won it 7 times and Dan 9 times. Has Plotkin been in 8 finals? I guess conceivably. Oh wait, this is 9 letters. It's not going to be Eric Agard in 9 letters. I don't think he's been to that many tournaments. I mean, I took a decade off of the typing, so I can't claim to be the world's expert. Who is this going to be? Very interesting. All I have to do is think of a phrase that can be parsed differently, in which case it's going to be like a slam dunk. But maybe it would be more fun to like start down here. Well, should I do that? Figure out this like revealer and then let's do that. This is fine for 1. Is it meme, I think? This is this Carl Polad? That guy owns the football team up there, the Vikings, but I don't know. Wait, is this? Hey, I know that dude in the chat, a big Willie D. Up late on a Monday night. Hell, it's almost Tuesday morning. What's up, a big Willie D? How are you? Congratulations on crushing the D division at the old ACPT. Is this that? No, this is that, this is, oh, I like that, I like the puzzle reference here. I would be, you can wait, oh, of course, you can call me Al Sanders. Love that guy. I defy you to find Al's and Ers. Well done. Well done, Will Eisenberg. Will Eisenberg, you fly under the radar. Who am I thinking of? You are like, well, who I'm thinking of is Elisa Mertens, who, when I just saw her play tennis in Miami, was roughly 30th on the women's tour in both singles and doubles. By which I mean, you are like a seriously competent speed solver and constructor. I think I've taken a look at your work on this stream over the last few years, but not enough. And I mean, there are superstar speed solvers like Dan Fair who can construct but choose not to. Or Tyler. I mean, both of those guys have made great crosswords, but they don't really focus on it. And then there are like amazing constructors who either don't or don't even try to, or like that's just not their strong suit, speed solving. But you're a guy who's both. So props to you, Will Eisenberg. I'm impressed. This is such a cute thing to like have spotted, that this could be parsed into like a really nice theme idea. Actually, with that said, maybe if I throw these things in here, I might even see this. So complete and total disaster. Please forgive the typos. I'm too tired to fix them, and almost too tired to care. This is, I wanted to say Boardwalk, New Jersey, but Al's and Ers. Well, they don't have to be AL and then ER in that order. I mean, this could be like this and like this. I mean, for all I know, I have no idea. But I mean, the answer, it's not going to be folder at the end here if the word folder isn't a clue. Then this is ER, is this AL? Necco wafers. I mean, what do they have on the East Coast? Nathan's hot dogs. All right, I'm a fan is not the answer because it's 6 letters and the word I is in the clue. This I don't know. This is no idea what that even means. Part of a bass, fatigue. Oh, this is either manga or anime. Maybe that. Wow. I guess that. Is this a 0? No, because if this is an A manga, this something's wrong here. Part of a bass. Is it a base? Is it a fish? Does anybody know? Does anybody really know what word this is? Probably that. And then this is, oh, huge fan. Will Eisenberg, I am a huge fan. Look at how good this is. Something here is obviously wrong, though. This is these ladies. This is less busy. Idler. Got it. Okay. A big Willie D. Did you enjoy your Boss Words ride? Excuse me, your ACPT ride? How many have you been to? Are you an every year guy? I really didn't know you personally in person until Lala last year. So even though I've been to the last few ACPTs, there we go. The best part is a gill. All right, we were on the right track. Yeah, tell me about your journey through the crossword tournament. Second one. All right, fair enough. I want to say Ghana has like a respectable soccer team, and that does look like an N. This is start of a conclusion. Will Eisenberg shamelessly like cramming crosswords into this otherwise anodyne answer. I love it. This I think this describes our friend, a common rose. A common rose with 2 seconds to spare, isn't this you? Happy to get through puzzle 5 clean and well deserved. This is, please, this is an AL. Can't fool me, Will Eisenberg. I knew it was either an AL or an ER. I'm onto you. I'm onto you and your tricks. Pleased, as you should be. I was pleased with how quickly I did the 8 clues. I don't remember ever doing them that fast. And that was not easy. I am a Ryan McCarty fan, and I'm experienced with his open middle grids. However, you see how when I don't babble about like, like the miscellaneous whatever is on my mind, when I talk about the ACPT, the chat box comes back to life. Sometimes I feel like the only thing really holding back this stream is me. All right, unreliable, blah, 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 blah. I'm not seeing that. This is an ER because this is an AL or an ER. And indeed, this is salt water taffy. This is a perfect difficulty level for somebody who's really tired and wants to end without the third face plant in a row in terms of what you'll solve. And of chips, I wanted this to be us since we're talking about the East Coast. Solving puzzles without reading the title. Well, if I had read the title of puzzle 5 before I was 3 or 4 minutes into it, it really would have helped. I might have even gone as fast as my friend Brian Simmet. I did it in 18. He said he did it in 17. Okay, these are don'ts, as in don't do these things. Of course. All right, I want to catch up with the chat. I really very interested in what you guys are saying in here about the tournament. Just enjoy whatever's fun for you. Fair enough. Yep. Both of you guys were sophomores. ACPT sophomores. You're rising juniors. It's only the day after finals and you're already rising juniors. A mere 361 days or something to the next, till school starts again. Roller coaster ride, getting your, yeah, I want to hear about this roller coaster ride. So when you and I sat together on the Metro North train, hurtling south toward Grand Central Station, are you telling me that you were packing a Division D trophy right there on our train car and I didn't even know it? That's bananas. I would have at least wanted to see the hardware. So cool. I rode the train with a big Willie D, not knowing. I mean, that is rarefied air. There's top 3 people in each of 5 divisions in the gold, silver, and bronze. In a sense, you were one of like the top 15 finishers at like the respective skill levels. I mean, you were on the medal stand. That's pretty great. All right, so these are docs. This is Cleveland. Speaking of ALers, Will, if you really wanted to be long-winded, you could have clued Cleveland as blah, 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 ALer, blah, blah, Cleveland. No, wait, did I say Indians? Sorry if I did. Guardians. That's what I meant. This, I have no idea. I have seen so many, what, trophies? I sure haven't seen any in my luggage. I've seen many of them on a table. I've seen many impressive people win them. I've even seen a bunch of my friends win them, but it's not a who cares situation. To finish, to get a trophy in a skill division is bananas. I'm sure Nora Sharp has long since fallen asleep, but Nora, didn't you win the E division at some point? Am I imagining that? Will, did you win an E or a D trophy? I feel pretty confident saying that Nora did. I'm not sure. Speaking of Brian Simmet, I think he might have. Yeah, that's all right. This is Sergeant Pepper. Digital disaster. Oh, I wanted that to be like a disaster. I don't know what it is, but it's digital something. Lewis, Leona Lewis. Even I knew that. This is Ent. Oh, the tree people were inspired by Macbeth. That's interesting. In what way? Was there a tree creature in Macbeth? If there was, I ain't remembering it. This is hot tea. This is eke out a win. This is something, maybe this. I haven't seen the across clues. This has got to be. Oh, I wanted this to be Loki. It's not Aoki. Oh, it is Loki. So what? Oh, this is few. Planet, home planet, ice planet. Got it. So this is walk, of course. A walk to remember. There's a theme idea for free. All right. Will Eisenberg, when you write your Mandy Moore Stan tribute puzzle. Throw in some kind of Chinese food clue. Go with a wok to remember. Don't say I never gave you anything. All right, so this is this. This is. It's not a sweet. It's not a stat. Slot. What is it? It's that. I too something. Stay. Yes, booking is a stay. Fair enough. Sid, not Sid Straw. She's too references getting too old and too obscure. Sid the Bear, much more current. This is I too, that great poem. On a like theme, I was fascinated by the James Baldwin stuff on the wall. If you are in New York or will be before February of next year, get yourself to the New York Public Library. I mean, it's on the east edge of Bryant Park, which also rules. And check out the Century of the New Yorker exhibit. It really was great. I forget, there's just all this great stuff about James Baldwin, the New Yorker, some respectful New Yorker editor writing him this nice letter, like essentially, I adore your writing. I want you to come write for us. It was, there was like hugely positive and hugely negative letters to the editor about James Baldwin stuff. The whole thing was fascinating. Well, I see MLB team in 7 letters, and tragically, I'm putting this answer in. It has to be right. Wow. Wow, that is crazy. It's amazing what you can do if you write $9.7 trillion in checks during free agency to steal every other team's best player. It's amazing how you end up with like a slugging lineup that still can't win a World Series. That's the best part of it all. I don't need anything to find my way around Stanford. I have not ever laid eyes on downtown Stanford, much less finding my way around. Sorry, drinking water. This year was my 3rd year as a judge. It was my 3rd year in Stanford because before my decade off, I was only ever in Brooklyn. I stayed in the spillover hotel, the Stanford Hotel, last year and the year before, because I decided to go too late in the game. And nice, Rose. I did not even come out from under that roof of that hotel this year until I left. It was great. It was just, what time did I show up? What time did I leave? It was like, for me, roughly 48 hours of, I mean, it's a pleasant walk to the other hotel, but like when you're done playing like bar games at 1:40 in the morning and you're tired and it's raining and it's either a walk without an umbrella or like an Uber ride, there's a total luxury in taking the elevator back to your room. I also was on the 3rd floor this year, which ruled by complete randomness, but the judge's floor was the mezzanine, and I could just run all the way down to there or to the ground floor very easily without taking the elevator, or God forbid, walk up to my room. Anyway, there were enough elevators, but yeah, staying in the Stanford Marriott is where it's at. It was the best. The whole experience was the best, but that was one way in which it was the best. All right. Are we going to stream for over 2 hours tonight? How long have we been going? Let's find out. 1:46. All right, we're going to land this plane and we're going to turn the camera back on and we're going to tip our cap and say a pleasant good night to all my buds here. Thank you for all being with me. Thank you. I know we've had a bunch of lurkers here tonight, not chatting. Just appreciate you one way or the other. Thank you for being here. Thanks to those who were here. Thanks to those who will later watch. It is so hot and warm. This is hot in my office. I'm opening my door, y'all. I've got tropical plants in here, so I like to keep the heaters on and I want a humidifier, but I'm roasting myself and I'm talking without taking a breath. I'm getting overheated. This is that, I never looked at the cheese. I was so busy yakking it up near the ballroom. I never even really got into the main pavilion area for the wine and cheese party. Although that was Friday night, I had already been fed a lovely meal, the judge's dinner, so I was not particularly hungry. This is 3 CDs, short digital clutter. I wouldn't know anything about that. For various reasons, I'm not going to share my desktop, but one of them might just involve digital clutter. This is Cranium. I don't know if I've ever played that, but I've certainly heard of it a million times. L's and ALs and ERs. Very impressed by this. Will, I'm glad you guys are going to do this puzzle. And it's a perfect way to wrap up the ACPT. Speaking of people that you want to meet in person, Al Sanders, just such a good guy. I mean, that guy just exudes niceness. I mean, he has friendliness, humility, and cool, like just coming out of his pores. Um, I mean, that's, I mean, he typifies the ACPT. Brains all day, skills, just pure class. Big fan of Al Sanders. Always have liked him. I mean, what's not to like? This is nice clue. Well, this would be this. This would be this. I too. I see. This is that. This is what? Veggie Tales. Well, is this? Oh, I thought this was going to be crime. Okay, fair enough. Crimp, Riveter, Acela Train. Yeah, that's right. It was an option. I momentarily looked at that option until, because among other reasons, I sometimes stay closer to Penn Station. But I was like, what? Excuse me? That much for a train ticket? Whatever. It wasn't even any faster than the other one, but of course I get it. They're competing, they're not competing with the commuter train, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't think I've ever been on the Acela. My East Coast trips tend to be kind of station to station. I don't tend to bounce between, like, say, New York and DC or whatever. Okay, so Veggie Tales, Jericho was defended by Pete. How do you like that? Yeah, Acela. I mean, Acela is that like an Amtrak subset? I don't even know. All right, once again, the chat is running away with running away without me, which is what I want. I like when the chat is active, communicating with each other. Indeed, that is a big part of the reason I'm streaming right now. I just want to like, I want to keep their, I want there to still be an agar, to cite a infrequently used crossword word. I wanted people to be able to still yak a little further, whoever was interested, about the crossword tournament. Burnham Wood on the March in Macbeth. Yes, of course. If it weren't for all those pesky consonants, maybe we'd see Burnham in the occasional crossword. I haven't thought about that book since I read it, like undergrad years, which for me, that was like, God, 4 years ago, maybe even 5. You all know I'm a mere child. All right, let's see. Very ACPT, but yeah, totally. Oh, that would be amazing if they did an ACPT. Well, you've kind of ruined it for next year, Will, by putting this out in public. But I mean, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't like focus the tournament puzzle on one guy, among other things. There's people in the room who don't know who Al is, blah, blah, blah. But what a cool, I'm so glad you asked me to do this one tonight. I mean, obviously it is like super ACPT, like relevant. But this is very elegant. I wonder if Al, I'm sure he knows, but I wonder if Al knows that he's got ALs and ERs for a name. Al's ability to maintain top 15. Yeah, oh my God. He's like in his mid 60s, and he's out there ahead of all these like 20 something kids who are like just monsters. Yeah, Al's, can you say, when he's a, Al's brain is the Paul Rudd's face of Crossworld. Please quote me. Northeast Regional. Okay, fair enough. Northeast Corridor. All right, that makes sense. Right. Whereas I was, it's funny, I got to Grand Central Station. There was like a comedy of errors happening. I got to Grand Central Station, whatever the hour was, who can remember? Let's say it was 2:04 p.m. I can't remember, 1:34 p.m. Something in there. There's an express train that leaves at like 34 or 04 past the hour. I missed that by like a minute and a half. But then at 37 or 07 past the hour is like the milk train. So like the train rockets off towards Stamford, maybe making one stop or whatever, 0 on the way there. And then a couple minutes later, the pokey little local, like stopping in every town. That's the one I was on, but it's all good. So like that 2 minutes probably cost me a half hour, but whatever, it's all good. I got there. Didn't have to take a taxi. I was happy. All right, for the last time, stop video, start share, stop babbling, finish solving, say good night, go to bed. Which grid do we want? We want this one. Yeah, it was just bananas. Like I stayed at 40th and 6th in the corner of Bryant Park. I'm not even gonna bother with it. I had breakfast with friends at 42nd and Ninth. That was west of me. I ended up going back to the New York Public Library on Friday morning because social stuff got in the way. I yacked so much with a friend at the actual exhibit that I saw barely any of it, and then I had to meet other friends for dinner. It was just like a whole, or like after dinner. It was like I should have left like 3 hours earlier, and that was the plan, but it didn't happen. But whatever, doesn't matter. No one cares. It's boring. Like those who show up on Thursday. Well, I showed up in New York City Thursday midday, as I have been doing every year. It worked out great. Was able to see all kinds of friends. Really enjoyed that New Yorker thing. But yeah, I ended up. I wasn't late, but I wasn't as early as I wanted to be. I was saying to Ben Zimmer, my theory. I've never done this. My theory though is if you let's say you start at 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning on Friday of ACPT. My theory is you could hang out in the lobby all day, and well, in the morning maybe quieter, and of course there's people like showing up who you don't know them, but let's say maybe starting like late morning or early afternoon, you could easily just yak your way all the way till like the 8 p.m. thing starts. I mean, it is just a Grand Central Station. Speaking of like crossword people, there's like old friends, there's acquaintances, people you may have briefly met. There's a million new faces who are friends to be. And of course, there are the I know who that is faces in the crowd where you're like, oh man, I want to give it up. I want to give props to that constructor. Flout the rules is defy a non-physical Loudon. Jordan Peele. Used to see that guy around the Improv Olympic when we were both performing there. Now IO in Chicago. This would be this. This looks like doggy, but it's dodgy. Rose, I get that. Not everybody has the Ben Bass will talk to a wall or a dog or anyone or anything else personality, but man, you couldn't find a more friendly or welcoming crowd, as you well know. You don't need me to tell you that, but yeah, it's it's not easy. I'm a hypocrite because I went through that. I, despite being I don't know, I've evolved into the extrovert that I am now. But when I first went, I mean, it wasn't hard. I mean, I wasn't exactly shy, but it was tricky at that point for me, not knowing anybody, and at that point in my life, it was, yeah. Let's say I didn't meet people as easily back then as maybe I do more recently. This, this would be this. I was wondering how this is going to be TD. It's looking like TD Ameritrade, and this is Modern Language Association. Okay, got it. Like style situation. This is this. A-Rod. It ain't Andy Roddick. Really? Did Alex Rodriguez buy part of that team? That makes sense. There's only so many teams, and Dolan ain't selling chunks of the Knicks. Too bad he's not selling 100% of the Knicks. I'm sure, as many would agree. Many dum-dums on the Metro North train, for example, are smart enough to know that he is the worst. I'm not even like an NBA fan, unlike our Will Eisenberg, and I know that much. This is this. This is this. This is this. This is. Huh. Well, you might get $50.05 back if you make that bet. 780. That feels like a good SAT score on half of it anyway. Will Eisenberg, props to you. What a great puzzle. You're welcome. No, I really enjoyed this. I mean, this is like legit clever. What a cool. This is just like, I mean, I've seen Al Sanders' name so many times. Oh, look who woke up. It's Benjamin. Thank you for staying in there, my boy. I know it was a lot, and I know it's just about midnight for you. But yeah, let's get back to what we're talking about. Take a bow, Will. Will Eisenberg, I'm proud to say, was on here recently, playing a little Only Connect, um, along with Shannon, our friends. Oh man, so many friends. Isn't that what ACPT really is all about? So many great people, such a great experience in so many ways. Feel so fortunate to be a part of this community. Um, I could gush, I have gushed, and I will continue to gush. Speaking of which, I want to land this plane in 2 hours, as I said, and it's getting close to that. So, real quickly, thank you, Will Eisenberg. Um, Byron Walden, Mike Shank for the great crosswords. Rafa Musa, BEQ. We'll get to you guys soon, but not tonight. I'm hoping that we'll do another ACPT wrap-up show. I've spoken to some of the biggest names in the biz about joining me, as we have had in the last couple of years. I mean, you name it, they've been on. Robin Weintraub has done it. Stella Zawistowski. Did Tyler do one? Paulo definitely did it. I think I can't even remember. It's all a blur to me. And one was a year ago, 2 years ago. Ross Trudeau did it, et cetera, et cetera. We will, I'd say there's probably a 70 or 80% chance that we'll pull this thing together and do it. A few people told me they couldn't do it this week, but maybe next week. One way or the other, I'm hoping that we will do an ACPT wrap-up show. If we do, I'll put it out there on the socials. I urge you to follow me on Twitch because that's the best way to get word of it. But I'll also if we do that show, I will definitely put something on CrossCord, Facebook, Twitter. And I will probably do at least one more crossword stream in advance of that so that people who are like chat box regulars here will get the message that we're doing it. There's nothing I can say further that I haven't already said 6 times tonight or implied. I love the people in the crossword world. The ACPT is just a huge highlight of the year. I feel so lucky to have been an official there. That was awesome in so many ways. Well, there's an old cliche about Gentiles leave and never say goodbye, and Jews say goodbye and never leave. I do that here a lot, but it is now time to pull the plug. We got to stop before the 2-hour mark, and that is swiftly approaching. Thank you all, one and all. Particularly my ride or dies, my real ones here in the chat box. Not sure when the next stream will be, but it will be soon. And I will talk to you then. Have a good night, everybody. GG, y'all.